All right, let's go over the conclusion questions on the bottom of your lab equipment sheet. First off, I want you to think about what these would be. So which piece of equipment would you use to measure 15 milliliters of water? The only thing we use for measuring amounts is the graduated cylinder. Remember, it has the individual 1 milliliter lines. Number two, which piece of equipment would you use to weigh 25 grams of sugar? That would be the electronic balance. Three, which piece of equipment would you use to remove a hot beaker? You have two choices. You can either use the beaker tongs because they have the rubber tips, or you can use those hot hands. Number four, which piece of equipment would you use to test 12 different chemicals? You could use the chem plate. Five, what is a Bunsen burner used for? It's our gas heat source, and then the gas that is used is methane. Number six, what is the difference between an Erlenmeyer flask and a beaker? One difference is the shape. Erlenmeyer flask is more stable because of that triangular shape. A second difference is the fact that the Erlenmeyer flask can also hold gases, whereas a beaker cannot. Number seven, what is the difference between a pipette and an eyedropper? The size of the drops. Remember, the pipette does a smaller, more precise drop than the eyedropper. Number eight, how is a test tube different from a graduated cylinder? The graduated cylinder is the only thing we use for measuring liquids. A test tube is used for holding small samples, but there's no measuring lines. Number nine, what units do we use in science to measure length? And that would be the meter, the millimeter, and the centimeter. Number 10, what units do we use in science to measure temperature and weight? Temperature would be Celsius, and weight would be grams. Number 11, when measuring liquids in a graduated cylinder, do we look at the middle of the liquid line or the sides? We look at the middle, and with water, it's typically at the bottom. This is called the meniscus, meniscus. 12, the piece of equipment that looks like a bowl and is used for grinding is called the mortar. The piece of equipment that looks like the letter P and is used for grinding is called the pestle. And then 14, when would you use a stir rod? Anytime you need to stir. All right, study those questions along with the pieces of equipment. Your quiz, I'll either ask you for the name and purpose, or I will have some questions and you'll have to tell me which piece of equipment. So make sure you've studied all of it. Have a great day.